Welcome back everyone. Here we are, day 2 of the ROKR time art cuckoo clock. Got our little bird domicile built, and I got it hooked up for just the bird to come out here. So, oops, battery bank went out. Hang on. There it is. There's 3 of them, of course. I'm still digging that. If you're new here, this is what I do. I buy these kits and build them step by step, mostly in real time. You get to see all my successes and all my failures and how I hopefully fix those inevitable failures. Have fun, upload daily, just trying to, we're not solving the world's problems, we're just building silly little models and having fun. Seen any kits or builds or sets or anything you want me to take a shot at, feel free to drop in the comments. I'm always looking to add on to my list, and I've got the most intelligent audience in YouTube because y'all provide me with nothing but the best options, like this kit we're building now. Y'all spotted this for me, so thank you for that because I think it's going to be a good one. So set that aside for the day because I don't think we're going to use it again. I'm going to build onto our structure a bit now. So I'll start off with base plate, for lack of a better term. I got something under there. Oops. Oh, a little mushroom plant left over from the Firefly Forest build. Okay, so we got, there's 8 of these guys. There's 4 each. I think they're just facing different directions, but ROKR does a pretty good job of labeling most all their parts. You can see, maybe if I can get the light turned just right, it'll focus that there's D14 and D15. So D14, I'm betting they're mirror images of each other or something to that effect. Yeah, that's what it is. The texture is on the outside, more facing one way than the other. But I say the ROKR, I've always been impressed with the quality of their stuff. It seems like they're the only thing I've ever had. This one's actually where the sheet D is so thin. It's actually a little bit hard to get the pieces off, but it's definitely not a deal breaker in any way, shape, or form. It's just a little inconvenient. But let's see here. So we're doing blank side up. Got our little arrow going that way. D14 goes in here and there. And then 15 around the corner. I was given a little bit of, I tried to do a little painting, but basically all my browns are dead. So I'm probably going to abandon trying to paint the edges. If I've got some particularly bright colors or something, I'll probably clean them up. As far as these guys go, I think I'm nut. Okay, and this one's actually opposite, so they are set up. What's that? Got you where you can't put them in wrong because the 14 and 15 have different sized slots. It looks like, yeah. So. Okay. So that's good. And ROKR's also good about sort of forcing you into that blank side. Like an arrow pointing that way. They do a pretty, like I said, they do a pretty good job of having little fail safes in to make sure you don't goof up. I think this one's you. Those are all together. And now, so you got blank side that way. You hole on this side. So these guys go into here. There. There. Okay, that lines up pretty good there. That slot got a shoulder there for something. Sure, we'll get to it. Do same thing, just do on this side be easier. Yeah, it was. Now it's got a feet underneath. It looks like we're going to have some decoration going around it. Got our tabs on the sides, but not yet. Okay. Now, a few of our rods and our little collars. This guy and a switch. Okay, so D5, I see. It's inscribed in there that that's D5 and your D7. Some of you, I say it on this dark material, you barely see it right there, but it's there, I promise. There we go. D5 on the outside. Our switch goes like this, and those two holes there. The screw goes through all the way. Line you up and through there. Alright. Sort of like a tugboat. It's lined up. Get our tiny baby screwdriver out, and we can draw y'all in together. Okay, we got a little. Now, take our little tool from sheet J, I think it is. Yeah, J15. What? So this one mount our collar. Yeah, it's a little our collar right there in the middle. That's our depth gauge. I know we got it right. You. Oops, I missed a piece. And it's even got the it gives you an inventory of the pieces you need to pull in the instructions. That's another thing I really like about ROKR. If you pay attention to that, it's almost impossible to mess it up. J6. Okay, there you are. This is sort of the opposite of D. It's almost too thick to get the pieces to pull off. And smooth them out. I think it really matters. I think that is sort of, I like having smooth edges. Alright. Okay, so this is going to be the pivot that activates our little switch. Go in this way. Okay, there's the. Yeah. So that does that. Shouldn't matter which side you go from, but slide it up through that hole. They act like a pivot point axle. And see it. There it goes. You on this side. Where this comes in handy too. That. And I think I just. If I just pushed it too far together, it did collapse down on it. Don't want to do that. So. Out. Okay. So hit that switch. Okay. Now, Okay, oh, from the bottom. There we go. Okay. So these two go in that hole. Drop our wire lead or whatever you want to call through there. There. And wait now. Okay. There's that switch underneath there. A little wobbly, but it still lines up good enough. Alright. Now we got our wire up top there, so that's what we want to get going. And that concludes page 7, which I should have told you I was starting on page 7. So on to 8, so I get to do some more decoration here. Got a few pieces. It's some details on them, nothing too extravagant so far. I think those are still. Yeah, these are the ones we need for now because we're going to use it to lock this mechanism in place. Slide them into there. Sort of not want to cooperate. Let's see. Where's my? Go back. Okay, there it goes. Now this one's same thing. Alright, so that one's definitely locked in nice and tight. Now, let's got a little ROKR logo on there. Go on our little switch activator mechanism. And 3, 4, and 5. Tab out. There. And just okay. A few guys on. Go. Okay, back here, this notch facing forward. You. Where are y'all? 12, J12, 13, and 14. Like little cracks, yeah, showing on our decoration there. So let's set your base. Going into. Okay, so this should be lined up around there. Okay, so it drops into that little slot. Alright, that's nice and solidified. And the big guy with, let's see, with our cracks upright. Alright. And then little guy on top of that one. Okay, looks like some steps or something starting up there. That's cool. Okay. Now we got our little, not sure what those are supposed to be, little brick looking dealios. Bring it a little bit tighter, I think. Got some light details on that one. 26, I think they're J26 and 27 and D21 with these guys. So 21, zooming the brown bit out. Goes, okay, they're actually back here. You are 26 on this side, not 26 on that side. Go in, okay, those two holes. And these two holes for 27. Okay. That may be too close. Sort of try and split the difference. So you and our, I'm assuming a floor. So these go on the D21s we just installed. Make sure our wire runs that way. Just those two tabs, there's nothing else yet on there. And you and central slot. Okay. Now we got just saw another piece I missed, but we'll get there. Let's see. D8 goes here. H17 over here. I need D28. 27, 26, 20. There you are, 28. Okay. Clean up the edges. I tore some of the veneer there when I popped it out of that. Let me. I'm going to hit that with the green. Not a perfect match, but covered it nice. I could get the edges on this one. Bright enough color where I want it to work. And my green does work pretty good. Second coat on there. Should have put this on the platform first, then painted it. You go right here. Okay. Touch it up one more time while it's in place. Get that ink that I just rubbed off onto my fingers off onto it again. Gentle. All right. And that finishes up page 8. So on to 9. First step in 9 is running our wire through our little eye socket hole here. And twist you a little bit, get you stay in place. Now that's ready to roll. The easy part. Let's set you aside. I'll work on most of these guys. And I got another stack up there, but I didn't want to get them confused because they look pretty similar to these pieces. I just want to be able to find these pieces basically. Yeah, I can bring the stack. I say it's similar but not the same. Okay. So we start with you. And there are supposedly, okay, there. I don't know if they're going to show up on camera, but there are little circles on each quadrant, so that's which one is which. You're supposed to mount these guys into the circle ones. We're going to put an outer cover on, so that's going to sort of camouflage some of that. I'm going to get a brown one because that's going to bug me too much. That's way too much contrast. Okay, then got 12 of these guys, and they fill in the gaps here. So I keep them facing the same direction. I don't think, most of my browns were messed up. This is not the right shade of brown, but I think it'll take the edge off. Literally the edges are, or not. No, that's way too far off. Let's see. How's this one look? I think it was still working. Get better. No. The only one that's gonna be good enough is the one that is totally out of ink or paint or whatever. Nothing left. Going to the small end. Looks a little bit better, but even that's still not ahead. A brown ink pen. I'm not going to make you watch me color them in with ink pen, but let's see what the color does on that. If any. Oh, you know what? Hang on. Where'd my stain markers go? Ah, here one is. Let's see how you are. There we go. And it doesn't look good on camera, but that's much better than the bright. They're about out of ink too, so I need to pick up another pair of these. Actually, I did pick up one, but it doesn't color in very well. Let's see how that new one looks. It's a rattle can marker, so you know it's got to be better, supposedly. Okay. That's one I haven't done yet. Let's see how you do. This didn't go as good. I thought I picked the darkest one. Let's see. Let's try a different shade of these. You do any better? It's not. it lightens it, so I guess it's an improvement. Not through again, just I guess from and these things are going to be showing too. Okay, maybe it won't be super obvious once it's all assembled. We'll have to see how that goes. Okay, but enough for the tangent. That's seems to be my issue here lately. Okay, now H24 and 4 of these guys. So there's 2 of them. 2 of them are 23 and 2 of them are 25. Let's say 23's the little bit longer one. It's got an arrow on it to tell us they're supposed to be across from each other. So 3 have the arrows facing the same way. 25. And 25. Okay. Now, this guy goes away from the arrows onto this side of the wheel, the blank side it says. And those are a little bit surprised it went right in like that. Usually you gotta line those up and stress with them. You got original ones with the extra tabs on them. Go in, make sure we got the facing this way. First tab lined up, and hopefully the rest will just slide right in where they're supposed to go. Yep. Okay, so here, getting our water wheel together. Thinking it may end up being like this because it's on the side. I have to wait and see what the instructions say. Alright, and you go on the side. Okay. Alright, we got that part of the water wheel done, and that concludes page 9. We'll do page 10, and that'll wrap us up for the night. I think we get to mount the water wheel up to our base, so that'll be a good place to stop. Okay, so let's bring you in. Those guys. Peeled a little veneer off on that one. Make sure these are lined up a little better on this one. Okay. See, that looks not great. From this side, if we got something covering this part up, this side will actually not look bad. Coming down, so in the water wheel at the bottom. Okay, and you. It's supposed to be a gap? Yeah, there's supposed to be a gap there. Okay. Okay, so we got a little gap there supported by those. Okay, got 2 slots on you. Excellent. Okay, tool back in place here. Double decker on that end. Go in. We're coming out. Double side comes out. Side with 2. Yeah, so that. And then this. It's just supposed to be flush with the end of our little. So you're like so. Now, over here to actually. Okay, so this, that's where our water wheel goes between these 2 points. And double decker side goes over here because it's got the wide slot for it, I guess. And, yep, pop you in there. Okay, so we got a little wobble on our base there, but actually a pretty good spin on there. I'm still not convinced it shouldn't be facing the other way because these are very bright looking down, so I may have to go back in with this. Once we get a little bit further, I may go back in and put the stain markers to use on the top side of those. There's one I sort of did. Or no, that's just where it seeped through. There's one I actually tried to color in, so I think that'll be a little bit better than the bright, untreated wood. Okay. Now, get the side of our building in. Let's just go over top of the... Okay, this is going to go over our axle. Back one is there, and the front one on this one is sort of just cut out of our slot here. Yeah, that's going to line up. Okay. Pressure. Flush. You're already flushed. I'm not even sure that yeah, there's no drive or anything for that, so it's going to be stationary at the end, but it does spin if you want it to. If there's nothing, I don't think there'll be anything to drive it. I think I've already used up all the motors and everything. So now these guys, decorative bits, go in. Okay, so here and there. Actually, they're gonna be holding our trough for what would have the water going down. All right, and that does conclude page 10. Let me take a peek at page 11. See if I'm going to be ambitious tonight. I'm not sure. How many pieces? What can we get to? Okay. Yeah. I think. I'm trying to decide. It's not. Not a good place. This is a good spot to stop. Because we're going to pick up actually building the rest of the structure tomorrow. Then we'll do the front wall, and like I said, they have the trough that goes over here. And with that, yeah, I think I really do like these from the front. These guys are really bright here. Okay, let me hit see what I can find stain wise. How dark are you? Dry, so it's not going to be a good one. Okay, that one's, I think that's going to be my huckleberry. Yeah, that's sort of the reddish brown of the thing. Of course, I can't get into all the nooks and crannies, but I can. Oh, it's drying out too. Okay, let's see what. How dark is this one? And of course it fits right in there, so it's hard to fault that one. This will take the edge off. It won't be a good match, but it's like I say, it's less bright. So I think I am going to go with this. I don't think it would have been that difficult for them to do both sides of the veneer on both sides of this one, at least to blend it a bit. Yeah. So that does sort of, like I say, it eases the. It's not quite as abrupt. Would have been easier to do if I'd done it before I assembled it, but at this point I'm not going to disassemble it to do it. Shouldn't take much longer. Yeah, almost done. Alright. Wrap up here tonight. That's, I say, making good progress. Gonna have those mismatched bits right there, but I think I'm still excited to see where this one ends up. I'm liking the everything we've done so far. It's going to be a rocker project. You know, I feel confident it's going to turn out really nice in the end. Yeah, like I say, got our water wheel going, got our floor and our bird's home. Because this has got to go somewhere. Maybe not. Got to be something like this. Can't even look on the front cover of the book. No, actually, this goes actually way up high. I thought it was down at the bottom. This is actually at the top, which makes more sense. Have a cuckoo clock there. Okay. And yeah. I think looking at the picture of it, if you do this, don't follow the instructions on the paddles on that thing, because you're only seeing it. The only time you see it's right there. Maybe it will be okay. I'm not convinced that it's going to be too bright, but that's just me babbling on. I better stop. I'll keep going all night long. Thanks for watching, everybody. Let me pop that battery in one more time. We'll do one more cuckoo, and we'll call it a night. Okay. Let's see here. Again. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like, subscribe, comment, complain, share. Oops. Forgot to hit the power button on the power bank. It does do some good motion on there. Do whatever you want to with all the like, subscribing, and sharing. Be good to one another. Stay safe. And click on a link. There's my channel up there if you'd like to subscribe. There's my other channel there. Do a couple of experiments a couple of times a month. This is what YouTube thinks you should be watching, and that there is the playlist for this whole build. See you tomorrow.